Hello again. Are you tired of Anthony and his wiener? I know I am. And I know I had a lot of fun laughing at all the peckerdoodle jokes, all the... I looked at my anthology and looked up every single synonym for wiener penis I could find, because I thought the whole thing was just fucking funny. Anyway, this is Carol Owns It again. And I'm here to remind you that not only do I own it, but so do you. And specifically, what we own is the government. We own that. We need to claim our ownership of our government. They have claimed the ownership of their governments in Europe, many countries in Europe, and if the government doesn't do what they want it to do, they get out in the streets in France, in England, although England is kind of sliding toward the United States problem, and they tell the government what they want, and they make the government do what they want. We own our government. We need to make it do what we want it to do. That's what Carol Owns It is all about, because I own it and you own it. Today, I'm tired of owning Anthony's wiener. And I'm sure a lot of you out there are really tired of this thing. What's important about Anthony and his wiener is that this is being used, it's a time-honored technique to point you, my viewer, away from what's important to you and distract you with stuff. And the people who are distracting you are invariably conservatives and Republicans and teabaggers. And I'm telling you right now, any of you teabaggers who want to watch this, you're welcome to make comments, but you're going to make stupid comments, because I've never seen a teabagger, a conservative or Republican who can change his or her mind about anything, even if they're presented with the incontrovertible facts. They are incapable of changing their minds. It's a box of rocks up there. Hard. And if you make all kinds of attacking comments about me or my friends, I'll keep it up as long as you're there to show everybody how stupid you are, and then I will make you go away fast. I said in the first one, no abuse, no abuse. Those are the rules. Okay, now as far as Anthony's penis goes, that's Anthony Weiner, Democrat from New York. This guy is the one, besides Alan Grayson, he and maybe Bernie Sanders, this guy has stood up to the idiots in Congress, the ones, the Republicans, the conservatives that are trying to distract you from all the stuff you need to know. And they do that by finding some cockroach like Andrew Breitbart to go out there and find stuff on good Democrats and trash them with it. If you find some scandalous thing about anybody, you can throw it out there and their reputation is ruined. Well, these people want to distract you. You know, it's always fun. Everybody's interested in sex, people's cocks. You know, Janet Jackson's breast flash. The Americans love this kind of stuff. Everybody loves this kind of stuff, and they use it to distract you. They use it to distract you from the fact that you own it, from the fact that you have babies and families that you can't feed because you're working you can't pay attention to them because you're working 3 jobs. You and your husband are on the edge of losing your apartment or your house. They want to distract you from all that. What are the causes of all that? And believe me, they are the cause of it. They're the cause of it. They don't want you to have to focus on that. If you're a student who can't afford your education, they want to focus you away from that. That's not your fault. Not your fault. Not your fault that you're an immigrant and they're trashing you in Arizona. That's not your fault. Not your fault that you're an old person and they're threatening to cut off your Social Security checks, your Medicare, your Medicaid. Not your fault that you're a PBS watcher and you want that unbiased news, and a fucking cockroach like Chris Christie in New Jersey is cutting off funding for public radio and television. None of that's your fault. They want to focus on Anthony's Weiner to keep you focused on other stuff. Did you know, for example, that today, or soon, they're going to blow the top, that Massey Corporation that is trashing, that has made use and exploited coal miners in the South, is now going to blow the, this really upsets me, blow the top off one of the most beautiful mountains, Blair Mountain, in the country? I think that's in West Virginia. Bobby Kennedy Jr., the son of Bobby Kennedy, the original sainted, martyred, assassinated brother of Jack Kennedy, who was our president, Bobby Kennedy was murdered. This is Bobby Kennedy Jr., his son. He's a brilliant attorney, and he has made a movie called The Last Mountain, which is about how they're going to blow the top off this fucking mountain. The last one. The last mountain in West Virginia. And you know what the end result of that is going to be? It's going to be the trashing of our entire water system. This is a cascade situation where it devolves from the blowing off of these mountaintops for coal, for energy, and the ultimate destruction of the water system of the whole country. They want to distract you from this with Anthony's pecker and the throwing shit against the wall so they can trash one of the three great Democratic congresspeople who actually stand up to these corporate Democrats, corporate Republicans in Congress, and tell them that they should fund. Anthony Weiner did this. Now we're going to lose this guy. What he did was, in New York, the first responders to 9/11, they're dying, they're sick, they need insurance, they need health care, and these Republicans won't fund or threaten not to fund that health care in New York. He stood up to them in Congress and told them they were fucking idiots. One of the only guys who will do this. This is Anthony Weiner. We can't afford to lose this man because he did a stupid little thing that a lot of men do. He put his private parts out and made a mistake and tweeted it. He was talking up prostitutes and, you know, getting off on this. People do this. Somebody like Anthony Weiner could have done this because he's under enormous pressure and he needed, you know, he needed to soothe himself a little bit. It's kind of like an addiction. You know, he's under enormous pressure. He needed this release a little bit. And he's been recently married and he hasn't learned. He can't be a playboy forever. This is a guy thinking with his mini-me. That's all it is. And okay, Anthony, you shouldn't quit. Don't quit. These people are just trying to distract us with this silliness and this shit. Anthony, this is shit. Do not quit. Please don't quit. We need you. You're one of the only people that can stand up to these idiots. All they care about is money. They've made all of us think that the most important value of human life is money. We've all been brainwashed, and if you stick with me, folks, I will talk a lot about how you've been brainwashed. You own it. They've tried to convince you you don't. They've done this for money for years, starting with Ronald Reagan, and you will find out, if you keep listening to me, that it's not your fault. And Anthony, it's not your fault either. You might need a little therapy. You might need to, you know, talk to your wife, stop being learn about women and marriage and stuff. Get yourself some therapy, but don't quit. We need you. Oh, I'm so disgusted with this whole thing. I'm tired of looking at your wiener in your underpants, Anthony. You know, you're a stand-up guy. Please forgive the double entendre. Anthony, learn to keep it in your pants. Please do not quit. Thank you very much. We own it. Let's take it back. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh, I'm so disgusted. Oh, I'm so disgusted.